Hey guys, I'm Dan Wolf. Welcome back to the channel. One little topic I wanted to get in here and talk about is what would it take, in your guys' opinion, to bring people back to Planet Coaster 2? Particularly people, not necessarily people that have never played it and might just see it on a Steam sale, or it may come up on their recommended feed, but I mean people like us that have known about it, that it had dropped, and they didn't feel that it was a proper release. And what will it take to get those type of people back? The people that are going to spend hundreds of hours in it, that may have either went back to the original Planet Coaster or may just be playing other games right now, waiting on Planet Coaster 2 to be that release that they wanted it to be and that they were hoping that it would be. I got a comment today from John Cunningham, 1889, and it really got me thinking about this. He said, I think to get people back into Planet Coaster 2, the key for them will be doing a social media campaign like No Man's Sky did with their Beyond update, where a bunch of people are suddenly like, oh my God, it's good now. And it piques the interest of the wider gaming community en masse again all at once, rather than trying to trickle new people in update by update. He goes on to say, now it should be said, I don't think the game is ready for this yet, because it legitimately does need to be far and away better for this strategy to work. And I think you have to agree with John. Like, yes, there is no way anyone can stand here and say that the game is not better than it was at launch, not better than it was 2 months ago. But is it enough for that wow factor to be like, oh, okay, they've got it now. All right, let me drop this 40, 50 bucks now. Now we're ready to roll. That could be argued a little more. A lot of people could still say that it's not what they envisioned the launch to be. But now, you've got guys like me that have been playing it hardcore since before release. And I would argue that it's given me 500 hours already of gaming content. So, there's both sides of the spectrum here, but I just think what I'm saying is people that are kind of alluding to what John is saying, that it needs to be farther along than what it is now for that strategy that he's talking about to work. I think that they definitely has a point on that. People can argue it's not what we want it to be left yet. And then he goes on to say, while it has definitely come a long way, I still think it has a bit more time in the oven before it's truly at a place where bringing people back in would get them to stick. Then he said, like you said, Dan, a DLC is warranted, but I'd say it would work best in the fall. If they keep doing monthly updates until the fall to get the base game to the point where it truly feels like a sequel, and then drop a content-rich DLC on everyone that legitimately expands the content, that would be a perfect time for the, oh my God, it's good now viral campaign. The thing is, this could easily work. It's not like people want Planet Coaster 2 to fail. Everyone was hankering for it for years, and the hype before release was crazy. People want more Planet Coaster 2, but the problem is the stench of the release. That's why it needs a proper reset. But in order for that to work again, the game needs to truly feel leagues ahead of where it was at release. And I think that's where we're at. I think that we need that continued content. My only problem for me selfishly is I'm really wanting new pieces. And I know a lot of people can argue like, oh man, like I've not even clicked on half the pieces they've given us. But, I just think for me and the way my brain works and the creative process that I tend to use, it's been like, how long has the game been out now? Almost 6 months, and with no new pieces introduced besides the Western pack, and the upcoming sci-fi pack. Western pack, don't get me wrong, that has helped. That was even with respect to Wilderness Springs, all of that was a super big help. But I guess I'm more so talking about pieces that we have never seen before, that is kind of what piques my interest a little more. You never know. You never know what they're going to drop on us, and I would tell John, like, a DLC could come out in June or October. Like, we just have absolutely no clue. But I think that a lot of us agree with that lackluster rollout, and then the DLC, those couple of rides so soon after that rollout. I just think they're making a lot better strides with the path that they decided to go down with the free updates. It's almost like they're a pseudo No Man's Sky. Like, they know they kind of borked that. Of course, I don't want them to go like 6 years with only free updates. I want some new stuff, some new DLC. But, I just think that they heard us. They knew that shortly after that release, that was not what, they were intending to have this rollout be, and to just not roll over and call it quits, or just be like, hey, maybe we tried this sequel too soon, it wasn't ready, we're just kind of gonna dive back in and kind of clam up and go back into our little cave, and maybe we'll talk to you guys in a year or so, if Frontier doesn't cancel this whole thing. That's the thing for me. I don't think it was ever that dramatic and that serious, because, like I said, look what the ones that did continue to play, look what we were able to make happen. Like, Mary's Revenge, Nerd Chacho, Corvus, who's actually did end up taking a little break, but he's coming back. Moomin Little Socks, Yan, my buddy Yan, Geekism, Drew with his Mid-America, which is actually probably going to see a video of that before the end of the weekend. So even now, even like at the end of May, people that may have taken a little break or, kind of wasn't really feeling it at launch, you're starting to see those little posts trickle back that they are coming back. And I think that is a testament to what Frontier and the Planet Coaster 2 team have been able to bring us. If that didn't happen, these people wouldn't be coming back. If you're still working with what we had to work with 4 or 5 months ago, you would not see these returning videos. I must have walked away at this part of the video, because that sat still for a long time, didn't it? But this is kind of like a little Atlantis project I'm doing for Leaf. I kind of come in and demolished his resort, and I was going to try to redo him a different little kind of style, more style it towards the kind of like the Atlantis Dubai feel. And so I've been having a lot of fun kind of taking a little wilderness spring break and kind of jumping over into this. But speaking of Leaf, another guy that has kind of just was telling me that he can't get into it fully. He is still just kind of, he's saying like it's crazy how different it feels from Planet Zoo. Like Leaf is kind of on board of thinking like there's so much stuff that they did right in Planet Zoo that hasn't made its way to Planet Coaster 2 yet, and I'm with him on that. I'm waiting myself for a lot of those QOL type issues to be resolved. And I think update 5 is going to be another really good stab at that. I am very, very much looking forward to the recolorable rocks. I think that's going to kind of change the way I design, as far as not having to use those big, bright white rocks on every build. But, you guys will have to let me know, like, what is that, like, what does that look like to you that gets people that wrote the game off maybe 5 months ago to give it another try? Like maybe even people that refunded the game back at launch. what brings them back? Do you think it's a major DLC? Do you think that by update, I mean, they're already teasing that next week they're gonna tease us update 6 that'll be coming in June. Do you think those free updates still rolling out and kind of them quietly getting everything together in the background? And then of course, like us hardcore players that are still here and still rocking with them. But what brings back the casual player, I think we need to say, that wrote the game off after the lackluster launch. I am just, and I talked to, Drew and Jonty pretty good bit in the background. And, just kind of, my feelings to them is, and I think it's pretty reciprocal. They tend to agree with me when I say, I really think it's time for a DLC. And I think Drew and Jonty's big point is kind of like John was mentioning, the free updates are great. Like, don't get us wrong. They are wholly welcomed and it's great. Like, that was a wonderful strategy to get them out of this launch kind of like hump they needed to get over. But now we're at a point where we, like, even us as creators, not to mention just the regular player, we need some new stuff. Like, we need that big DLC to hit. And I think that first one, if they, like John was saying, if they can get that big first campaign out there, say what you want about them, but get the IGAs on it, get your rock, paper, shotgun, do a big media blitz with whenever you decide to drop this first DLC, and just let people know that this has been greatly looked at, and the features that we are asking for and that we've been asking for seemingly are dropped on us every 30 days. Like, our little buddy, Tegid 3D, look at all his little ideas and his little hacks that he's come up with during, just regular gameplay that the devs have ended up implementing like a month or two later. So, a lot of us owe that guy, I think, a big thank you for just putting that on Frontier's radar. And, like I said, we see it happen like a month or two later. So that is just really cool. And I just think it goes back to just look at Tegid. They're listening. They watch, they listen, they read the feedback. We know that they've, I've gotten emails before from some of the CMs literally saying the devs love your content, keep up the good work. So even as far as like my little platform goes here, the devs are watching, recording feedback, seeing what you guys are commenting and saying. And I just think that is, I just think it's cool that they're listening. They're trying to get this game on solid footing. And I think that's going to be the ultimate challenge. What do we do to get those original people that left the game? What do they do to get them to come back and engage with the game again? And I think this is just really exciting stuff. But anyways, guys, I'll quit jabbering on. I saw that comment. It was a wonderful comment. Really got my brain kind of ticking on, well, what will bring people back? What will bring those? What kind of event has to happen to bring people back? And would love to hear your thoughts on it. Let me know down below. What do you think has to happen? And I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'm S.Dan Wolf. This is your late night rambling session, and I'll catch you in the next video. See ya.